You little bum. Saskatoons, even though that they're dry, or almost dry, for tea in the winter, and getting the choke cherries still. And it also appears as though that some of the roses are ready. So when all the rose buds are ready, I'll be making my crabapple and rose syrup and jellies. So tell us why you're examining them. There's the queen, right bottom there. All the bees are around her. This is a new hive I just made this summer. Still laying eggs. You know, alright hive. I'll often find raspberries up in here. In the forest. Raspberries come from the rose family. Okay, but what I do not often find is fucking tin cans in the fucking forest. Unless somebody's been out here, because we don't leave bullshit laying around. I'm gonna see what kind of tin can that says it is. I'm gonna get up closer here. Okay, let's get up close. Hold on. Bud Light. Looks like it's been out here for a few years. here I see another tin can, looks like a coffee can. I'm gonna get an up close look here. Okay, so it's a Maxwell House coffee tin.
Taking a mite wash here. There's half a cup of bees, which is roughly 300 in here, and this is 2 tablespoons of Dawn dish soap and about a gallon of water. And it kills the bees, unfortunately, but it also kills the mites when they fall off the bees, and we can count them and get a percentage, figure out how many there are in the hives. This is one of the most important things as a beekeeper. We swirl it for about a minute and then let it sit. The lights will fall to the bottom.
Water with apples, and tea with apples, mint, and choke cherries with honey. Hotter. How long you usually gotta swirl it for?
About a minute.
Yeah.
That's good enough. Oh, it gets tiring though.
You gotta invent a machine that does that for you.
Yeah. It's the same as it was 2 weeks ago. 3 mites on 300 bees. That's all right. In the springtime, if you find any more, well, 3 mites or more on 300 bees, that's about a 1% infestation, and that's too much. In the fall, it's more like 2%, so if you find 6 mites or more, it's a good idea to be treating. Here, the threshold is 2% September 20th, so if you find 2% before September 20th, you got a problem and you have to treat. Otherwise, any higher than that, you risk all your bees dying. They get full of viruses.
That's why I call you Justin the Bee Man.
Yeah.
He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So how many bees are in the hive then when you have to do a testing and you have to take 300?
Right now, anywhere from 10 to probably 20,000 or more. And then in the summertime, it can be 60,000 or more. So
Wow.
taking 300 isn't really a big deal. Every day around this time of year, 1,000 bees can be dying off just from old age. So, not really
Yeah,
a
how
big
old
deal.
do they actually live, bees?
I've heard about 5 weeks, but in the wintertime they'll live like from now until April. weeks. They're not raising baby bees
Oh yeah.
and wearing themselves out by flying, but usually about 5 weeks, and then in the winter they live all winter long, most of them.
So at this time of year, we're also finding a lot that are passing away just of old age and stuff.
Yeah, they had their good, healthy, long life.
And I noticed in the winter sometimes when they get rid of their dead, they just hi-ho them out the building.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting too, how they don't keep basically their apartments, which all messed up and stuff. They get rid of the dead and.
Or if a bee knows that it's gonna die soon, it'll just fly out of the hive to go and die. And if there's one that's dead or dying, it'll drag it along with it, because they know that they don't want to clutter up the hive, so they just fly off to go and die in the snow. Even if it's like -40, you'll see them flying out if they're old bees.
Wow.
But, yeah, kind of neat.
Yeah. Okay, so.
Okay, there's mite. It's kind of a reddish, dark reddish brown oval. There's 1, 2, and 3, and then that's just a piece of debris. So there's 3 there. They latch onto the bee, and the bee has a fat body on it. It's kind of like the liver, and they suck on that, and they give them a bunch of viruses and pretty much destroy their immune system. So it's important to know how many are in there.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have a puff. Just me, myself, and I. Hot, yeah. And then pick some more berries, more likely. So I'm finding a few out here. I like to come here first because these are all ground level roses, because they chop them over with the mower and shit all the time along in here. And so they're ready before the ones in the forest often. And they're ground covered, like, just because they're cut. There we go. There's some nice ones. Yeah, it's raining. I'm all getting wet. Justin's out there cutting away. You can probably hear him. He's gonna pick it up. I got some mud in my face. Okay, so I'm gonna just pick and. Oh, and by the way, see where the garage is and the house, and then the fence line runs along where that tree is, anyways, all the way straight to the back. But see how the summer road goes, and when you keep following that summer road, it keeps following alongside of my property. Each one of those pine posts runs alongside of my property. So, and the dump, they caught it as using the fire, or just run with the third post is back there somewhere. So all they have to do is just go down, and this summer road goes in and around somehow and goes to that motherfucker who killed the dog. Anyways, this summer road leads straight on out of here and out onto the road. Or they can go across or go straight down and around and fuck around. But then Clark Ward keeps stuff fenced off sometimes. Sometimes it's wide open so that he can go down there. And there's another summer road. See that clump of trees way down there? There's a clump of trees like those. There's another summer road down there where those are. And I've heard people sitting there. You can hear for quite a ways out here. When it's not windy and stuff. Anyways, I just thought I'd say that. I'm getting a nice pile. I still gotta, like, that's a good amount so far. I'm gonna use it to make with the crab apples and make some jelly. And there's my loot. Hey, dear Justin. My joint that was in my pocket. Hey, dear. It's even got a cat hair on the end of it. Just put it in there, and then this is what happens, of course. Hey, dear. So I guess it's time to wake up when Mama is waking you up saying, hey, dear, I'm having kittens. Hey, Tiffany, kick it down, little buddy. Or a little Jamal, and kick it down. Is that your firstborn, Mama Skill? Yes, you're doing a good job. Don't worry. I know there's more to come. Yes, there is more to come. There will be more in there. I think she'll probably have about 3. Maybe 2. Probably 3. It's very exciting. Oh, just waking up. Waking up to kittens being born down by your feet. Do, 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 do. Hi. What are these big suckers, eh? They taste so good too. Okay, I think I got my 2 baskets full. Over full. Oh, yeah, what is this? Okay, so I processed the choke cherries, and the juice is in here, and I strained the berries, and I put them back on in the pot with some crab apples off the tree, and I'm gonna add tomorrow. I'll go pick some fresh berries to add to it, but I'm gonna process a lung syrup. Okay, so I added part of a mandarin orange peel and half the orange, and then Justin's eating the other half. And I have some mallow, which is good for the lungs, and I'm picking it off the plant. Look who we got climbing up, sniffing. What's that, Mum? What's that? You're a baddest kind of girl. Don't go in there, you would fall down. Does it smell good? So silly. Yes, Rose. Okay, so some licorice root. You don't need to have it, my girl. Some passion flower. Pansy I plucked this summer. Here comes Sabrina, my darling girl, hanging out. Yeah. With Jasper. Over in this corner. Her other daughter. See how she puts her hand or her paws on the jar like that? Yeah. It's so adorable, Fickle, because Mama's making medicine and you on the seat. She hopped up on me. Yeah. Oh, pumpkin. I let these fresh rosebuds sit covered in this container overnight with some water. Here's the water. And it will be added to this. Okay, and then I'm going to use these rosebuds here, covered with water, bring them to a boil, let them sit overnight, because I'm getting tired. And then this over here can sit, and I'll put a lid, and I want to make at least one round of just jelly out of this, and possibly syrup. I'm not too sure which one. I might go pick more for syrup. But then mix the crab apples in, and oh my, that's the best jelly. With the really good crab apple. But I want to do a little bit just by itself. So. Anyways, I'm going to bring it to a boil, have a snack, and have the roses reheated this morning, and now they're filtering. Have the apples chopped and ready to rumble. Some people will take and peel them, some will take the cores out of them, this and that. I ain't gonna worry about all that because you can actually make apple core jelly as well. It's usually to do with the color that they worry about that, but I don't generally worry about all that because I'm too busy at this time of year usually to give a shit about peeling all the apples and worrying about the color. And it's not necessary. And here's old Betsy. She's been I call her old Betsy. And it's coffee time. I'm now filtering the lung syrup, and I'm gonna let this apple and rose just sit and stew while I work on the lung remedy. Round 1 of the lung syrup. And here I have some Rumix Crispus, also known as Curly Dock. And what we're gonna do with her is pull it out of the ground and use the root in the lung remedy, because the root is a remedy by itself. And you want to get the root at this time of year when it's looking like this, because then all the nutrients goes down into the root to keep it alive for the winter and stretch out, and this plant takes over just like the mint family. And while I'm out here, I'm going to clear some of it and harvest some of the grains. I've got a black garbage bag to put it into until I can pluck the grains off of it. And then if you have a mill, you can put it through the mill, and you've got flour and you can add it to other flour and yada yada. Here's the root. Sarah's in the window.
So I'm just checking hives, checking mite levels, and feeding oxytetracycline today. Check out these hives. Looks pretty nice, eh? Don't see the queen on there. Alright. Yeah, they look good. So, here's 32 grams. Just dust this across here. This is oxytetracycline. Help prevent American foulbrood disease and European foulbrood. I feed this usually in the spring. I didn't feed it this spring, but usually in the spring and fall. You do 3 applications, I think 4 or 5 days apart. There's different brands and different instructions, but anyways, that's what I'm up to. I write the mite level on the lid. This one only had 1 the last time I checked it, so like 0.3%. That was 2 weeks ago. I'm not going to bother checking it again. It's fine. This one over here had 3 mites, so about 1% 2 weeks ago. I checked it again and it still is at 1%, so that's good. Here the treatment threshold is 2% in the fall, 2% September 20th. So if you find 2% before September 20th here, it's a good idea to be treating them. But yeah, they look good. They're getting heavy, and they're still brooding. There still is some eggs and brood in them, so they should look good. So far, I don't need to treat this fall, except for later on in the fall after they're wrapped, I'll treat them with oxalic acid vapor, and that'll clean up any straggler mites. But yeah, they look good. Here's the hive with the Kona Queen. It's built up nicely into a double. They're backfilling everything. There's some good pollen stores in here, and I'm not sure how well the camera's picking up here, but there's some white pollen coming in. I'm not sure what that is, but it looks like bees were rolling around in chalk or something. Here, I'm just going to take a quick mite test, and that'll probably be it for the year for really inspecting hives very much. So, right. Wow, look at that. There still is a solid frame of capped brood in here. Looks like they're still brooding quite a bit. So that's good. That'll mean that there's a bunch of young bees going into winter. That's really good. Hopefully the mites are still low. 2 weeks ago I found 2 mites on 300 bees, so it's like 0.6%. But not sure how well the camera's picking up here, but that's a nice solid frame of capped brood. Lots of good pollen stores in here. That's good, that'll help them out next spring. I just took a shake from this frame for a mite test, but there still is lots of brood. Let's go like this. There still is lots of brood, there's eggs, and there's some good open brood, so, and really good pollen stores in here. These girls will definitely need more syrup though, so. Okay, got it treated with oxytetracycline. I'll show the mite wash after, and that's pretty much it for this hive. So. Alright, so this one has 4 mites on a half cup of bees, that Kona hive over there. So 4 mites on a half cup of bees. That still is okay. If there was 6 or more, I'd have to treat, but there's 4, so that's roughly a 1.3% infestation. That's alright. In a few weeks, I'll probably treat them twice with oxalic acid vapor in October there after they're wrapped, and that should clean up any straggler mites. So, alright. That's what they look like. Kind of a reddish oval, dark reddish brown oval. There's 4 in there. So, alright, that's it for this one. Keep going through the hives here and take a few more mite tests. And keep feeding them, and that'll be it.
Okay, I cleaned out a whole bunch of fur and shit along the edge in here. And I started to spray it, and I thought I was going to do it before and after. Get down, dumb fucker. Look at this fucking grossness from sickness. And like, there's the color inside it. Fucking horrible. Okay. Disgusto. Oh, and then looks like X marks the spot this morning. Hey dear. Just having a quick puff. And the light is coming. Yeah, bruh. Here, bruh.
I didn't have a puppy.
Super lemon haze.
The guy that like to do the mocha, pop.
Looks like X marks the spot this morning.
Okay, so that's about 4 to 4. So if we do that another 23 times, we'll be getting 6 chords. Okay, so this is actually a little over a quarter chord. If it's level with the box, it's a quarter chord. It's just a little bit over.
I smashed my hand in between two logs. See, there's my other one. Real nice.
So I just walked out to the bee yard to check on things. So I'm still feeding for winter here. I got all my hives pushed together in groups of 4, ready to be wrapped. It still is warm out, so I'm going to keep feeding them as much as they'll take. I just came out here today and I noticed that there's a good pollen flow on. See? Bunch of nice yellow pollen coming in. We haven't gotten a frost yet, and it's October 3rd today, I think. So things keep reblooming. There's been a good pollen flow on and off through September, and now going into October. So that's really good. That should help them out in next spring when they're trying to start brood rearing again. There still is drones in these hives. bunch of pollen coming in. This little blue piece of tape here is just marking this hive. I might want to graft from this one next year. I'll have to see how it does over the winter, but that's what that blue piece of tape means. Like that hive I grafted from it this year, and the other one that I grafted from was there, but it tried to supersede and then it died out, so I replaced it with a nuke. But yeah, there's a good pollen flow on today, which is really nice. I haven't really been opening up very many hives, but I looked through a couple nukes, or no, one nuke a while ago, and the queens are still laying. They've slowed down quite a bit though, and they're backfilling everything with honey, or with syrup. So I think in about a week I'll probably start treating them with oxalic acid vapor. I'll probably treat them twice. Once, and then about 2 weeks later I'll treat them again, just to clean up any mites in here. Not all of them are quite as active, but they are bringing in pollen though. So most of the nukes have built up to, well, most of them are 6 to 8 frames of bees. This one's a bit smaller, it's about 5 frames when they're clustered. 5 or 6 frames-ish, but most of them are right around 8 frames of bees going into winter, so that's pretty good. Here's their upper entrance. That's what they'll use through the winter for cleansing flights and then for ventilation. I put entrance reducers on all of them a while ago here. Next year I'm probably going to get the big 2.5 gallon pails for every hive. I don't mind these for feeding nukes, but trying to feed them for winter is a bit of a hassle. They take down one of these little, it's just over half a gallon, I think it's like 0.6 gallons. They've been taking one of those for a while it was every day, and then every 2 days, and now it's more like every 3 or 4 days, so. I think most of these, I kind of lost count, but most of them have taken probably getting close to 5 gallons of syrup, of 2-to-1 syrup. So most of them are getting pretty heavy. They should be good enough for winter. I'm going to keep feeding them as long as it's warm out. I'll keep feeding them until I wrap them up, or until they quit taking it. If they get full enough that they quit taking it. But these hives here that are right in the sun seem to be the most active. Bringing in lots of pollen, and there's a bunch of drones hanging out on the outside of the hive. That's good that there still is drones in here. A few weeks ago I seen that this hive was superseding, so hopefully it's made itself a new queen. I checked, I think the last time I fed oxytetracycline, and there was still a laying queen in there, and then it looked like there was some queen cells that had emerged, so hopefully they'll be alright. Not seeing as much syrup now. Oh, they're washboarding. Kind of. I think that's washboarding right at the front here. But anyways, that's what they're up to. Beekeeping is pretty much done for the year. Keep feeding them and making sure that they're nice and heavy going into winter. And I'll treat them probably twice with oxalic acid vapor, just to clean up any extra mites in there. And then once it starts to cool off and they're done feeding, I'll wrap them up for winter, and that'll be it. I think they'll winter better over here. They have a good windbreak from the north and the west, and they get really good southern sun exposure. It's nice and warm over here. It's really nice. But, yeah. Okay, well, I guess that's it for this one. That's where my bees are at right now. So far, so good.
come back. Yeah. Can't wait to hang out and get some mama's up and he had some. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. You seen yourself in there? You do it. You little bum. Oh. You little bum. Oh. You little bum. Oh. You little bum.